Guys, so let me go over the week 5 APA credit sourcing assignment. This is actually really important as you go through your degree. You'll be required to cite sources, and those citations need to be done properly. I want to make sure that you guys are getting this right, and want to make sure that you're able to get the highest grade that you can. Now, I'm in week 5. Down here at the bottom, you'll see here on my screen, you have your week 5 APA credit source assessment, and below it, there is a PDF here. I'm going to go ahead and open that. It's going to open here in this screen. And this is the article that you guys will be using. Most of you guys got that part right. This PDF, it's got the author here, Roger Benjamin. And then it gives some information on the work. Here, it gives a year. You have a page here. Now, normally when you're citing, you'd give a page number. There's not a page number here to give. So you are free to give a paragraph number, and I'll show you kind of how that runs. But let's get into the assessment real quick. So I'm going to click on week 5 APA crediting sources assessment and go through and just kind of show you guys how you should be answering these questions. So I'm going to start the assessment here as if I'm a student starting it. And so it says here, question 1. I'm going to highlight this. I'll highlight this section here if I can. It says, imagine you're writing a paper about why critical thinking skills are important in the workplace. So we're imagining that we're writing our own paper. It says, select a sentence you wish to cite from this article, meaning this article here, from this article that relates to this. Type the sentence below. So that means you're literally going to copy and paste. So many of you went over here and you selected, a lot of you guys, not all of you, but a lot of you guys selected this sentence here. That is fine. There are a couple of things to this. Number one, when you quote from somebody else, you must 100% maintain the accuracy of the quote. You can't change words. You can't mess with the quote, okay? It is a quote. You have to quote them verbatim. So that's really, really important. Number 2 is that when you're quoting here on this particular problem for this question, all I want is the actual citation, and it's asking you right here, very clear. It says select a sentence. Many of you guys selected 2 or more sentences. You should only be selecting a single sentence. So I can come here and I can say, okay, I want to copy that sentence there, and I can come into this box here and paste it in. I'm going to remove formatting, and I want to make sure, now look, this is coming up on my computer here saying problem solving has a hyphen, but if we go here, does problem solving have a hyphen? It does not. So we have to leave the quote the way it is. We cannot fix it. So if they've quoted something that's grammatically incorrect, you quote the incorrectness of their grammar. So in here, in order to get full credit on this one, I would want to actually put quotation marks in here. And on that problem, on number 1, this is the extent of it. That's good. You don't have to do any sort of in-text citations at all. You're good. So I can go to the next one from here. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Now, here's where it gets a little bit confusing, and here's where a lot of people made the mistake. It says, number 2, now type a sentence that would come before that quoted sentence in your paper. This question is very confusing. So here's what this means. You're not going to copy and paste another sentence out of this article. You're not going to copy and paste the sentence right before it. You're not going to go through and rehash the sentence after it. You have to write an original sentence in here that might go along with the sentence that you chose to quote. So the sentence here is that I chose, the focus on critical thinking skills, including analytic and quantitative reasoning, problem solving, and writing, is consistent with a shift in the way knowledge is now defined. So I may say, I may write here like, formal education tends to rely on memorization. Let's see if I got that word spelled right. Yep. Memorization rather than critical thinking skills. That's my sentence. I wrote that. That's nowhere in this paper because on number 2, I am called to write an original sentence that might be in the paper that I'm writing. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that, allergies. So I can say formal education tends to rely on memorization rather than critical thinking skills. The focus on critical thinking skills, including analytic, quantitative reasoning, problem solving, and writing, is consistent with a shift in the way knowledge is now defined. So this sentence would work well in my paper as it would appear before the quote I've chosen to use here. Okay, so I'm done with that one. I've created an original sentence. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, I would say, okay, now again, this can be a little bit confusing. Next, retype the sentence you wish to quote. This goes back to problem number 1, not problem number 2, because in problem number 2, question number 2, I didn't quote anything. I created an original sentence. Now I'm going back to the one that I quoted. Be sure to use a signal phrase. If you did not do so in the sentence above, that's fine. Quotation marks and an author date style citation. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go ahead and copy this sentence again. And I'm going to put it in here, and now I need to start manipulating this. So let's remove formatting. I'm going to go here and make sure that I have quotes around this. Now here's something really important. If you're doing an in-text citation, you're going to have what's called a parenthetical reference. So you're going to have parentheses with information here at the end. That's going to be an author date style citation. Now, I can come here and I can write, it has been argued that, comma, now I'm into my quote. So now they're telling me I don't need to come here, that's fine. It has been argued that, so that's my signal phrase, okay? And then I have the quote. Got to leave that because it's part of the quote. Quote ends here, but the sentence does not end because I need to put an author date style citation. Now, at the end of your paper, if you're writing a big paper, and I really wish the way that this assignment was arranged allowed me to actually come in and teach an entire lesson on citing. What you have at the end is you're going to have a works cited page. The in-text citation here, that's the author date style citation, is pointing us toward the citation page at the end. So what we're going to want to do here is go last name, Benjamin, comma, year, 2013, comma, normally we get page number, like page 5. But now look, we don't have a page number here, okay? This right here is not a page number. That's November, actually that probably is a page number, but it looks like it's November 18th, 2013. What it probably is from the University Business Press here at the college that they have, where it's page 18 of that document, and it's in November of 2013, but we're not sure. So here's something we can do. We can actually cite the paragraph number. So we go, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 goes up to here, 6. So what I quoted here was in paragraph 6. So I can actually go here and I can type para 6. Bring this in here and then put the period afterward. That's how you'd go about putting in a signal phrase and then this reference. Now let's pretend that I wanted to use Benjamin's name in the signal phrase. Many of you guys did that. That is perfectly fine. So I'm going to copy this, leave this up here, and show you how I would do that. I would say something like, Benjamin argues, now here I got to go, okay, well it's Benjamin, I got to type in 2013 there. Benjamin argues that, and I'm going to drop in the quote here, and then at the end, I'm going to go para.6. Now here's what I've given. You need these 3 pieces of information, because if I was going to try to look this information up to cross-reference it and make sure you give the right citation, I would need the last name to be able to find in your works cited. I would need the year, and I would need the paragraph number. But look, I've given all those here. There's the last name, there's the year. I don't need to reinsert those at the end of it because I have those as part of the signal phrase. Then I would go, what information is missing? The paragraph number. Both of these are acceptable. This is perfectly fine on both ends. It doesn't really matter to me. So I'm going to move on from here. Now we're going to go to question number 4. Now type a sentence that explains the quote you chose and how it might connect to your imaginary paper. Now, most of you guys did a great job here, but remember, this should be an original sentence. This is not a sentence that's going to be coming out of this article. You're going to be writing an original sentence, and it can be something like, as you can see, and then, just an explanation of the quote. That's perfectly fine. And then, of course, number 5 is going to be a combination of all of those things. So I wanted to give you guys that to show you how to do the assignment, making sure that questions 2 and 3, you're writing an original sentence in question 2, and that you're citing it properly in question 3. If you guys have any questions for me, please feel free to reach out and to talk with me. I'm going to go ahead and allow you guys another attempt on this. If it does not allow you to do another attempt, text or email me, and I will make sure to clear out your last attempt so that you can retry, because I'm going to be honest, none of the scores were in the A range. So, and they're coming from students that typically get A's in the class. So I want you guys to be able to get as good a grade as possible and to be able to understand what it means to cite in AP format. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. If I need to reset and clear out your attempt, I'll be more than happy to do that. I'm sorry if this adds more work coming up onto you this week. I understand the difficulty, but remember, I will take late work. I am offering grace on that. So again, reach out if you need me, okay? Thanks, guys, and have a good week.